No, thank you very much, National Chairperson. I'm going to read the statement of the national officials, which, as the National Chairperson said, is a product of the meeting of national officials that took place on the 21st of January 2025. So I'm going to read the statement word per word as to the outcomes of that particular meeting. So it's statement of Umkhonto Wesizwe Party on the appointment of leadership structures. The national officials of Umkhonto Wesizwe held our first meeting on the 21st of January 2025 in Durban, KwaZulu-Natal province. The meeting was attended by all members of the national officials, the President, the Deputy President, Secretary General, Deputy Secretary General, National Chairperson, Deputy National Chairperson, National Organizer. And the national officials, as we all would know, is a constitutional structure of our organization in terms of the Constitution, with decision-making powers in between the meetings of the National High Command. And the national officials have an obligation to guide the entire organization on key political, ideological, and organizational decisions. The national officials appreciated the tremendous and successful work done by the provinces of Gauteng, Mpumalanga, and KwaZulu-Natal in hosting successful first-year anniversary activities and programs. The MK programs to celebrate the first anniversary are the largest political meetings and gatherings to take place in South Africa since the 2024 general elections. We have demonstrated and will continue to demonstrate that Umkhonto Wesizwe is a force to be reckoned with. The national officials adopted a minimum program of action for the year 2025, and we are going to workshop this program in our annual Hubo, which is our annual strategic planning workshop, which is going to take place on the second weekend of February 2025. The minimum program of Umkhonto Wesizwe include the establishment of provincial, regional, and sub-regional detachments, and also VD-based branches and ward-based detachments in the whole of South Africa before the end of 2025. As part of that program, we have been mandated here today to come and announce the leadership that has been appointed to bolster the National High Command and the national conveners of the MK Women's League and MK Youth League. But also we're going to announce today the leadership collective of the provinces of Limpopo and Gauteng province. The national officials have resolved to appoint the following members into the National High Command of Umkhonto Wesizwe Party with immediate effect. It's Serame Name Mukhale, Luda Libelo, Jabu Koza, Madume Patrice Chuku, Lindiwe Mchali, Buseletso Skosani, Dumisile Ngumalo, and Sibusiso Radebe. So Sibusiso Radebe is called Lion in the province of KwaZulu-Natal Bubes. The addition of these members will bolster the work of the organization and ready it for the work and tasks ahead. We also announced that Seramena Memukhale has been appointed as the full-time head of political education of Umkhonto Wesizwe. The national officials of Umkhonto Wesizwe have also resolved to appoint Advocate Dalimpofu as the chairperson of the National Disciplinary Committee and have elevated the chairperson of the National Disciplinary Committee to be the national chairperson of the National Disciplinary Committee of Appeals. That is our Deputy President, Dr. John Mandlakaise Hlophe. So he is going to chair the National Disciplinary Committee of Appeals, whilst Advocate Dalimpofu chairs the National Disciplinary Committee. Our code of conduct obliges and guides us that whenever there are changes to disciplinary processes and composition, we should make a public announcement, and that is the announcement that we're making. The national officials have resolved to appoint the conveners and coordinators, national conveners and coordinators of the MK Women and Youth Leagues. And the immediate tasks of the MK Women's League convener and coordinator will be to have consultations on writing and finalization of the founding documents of the MK Women's League and the MK Youth League. They will also be responsible for establishment of the organization in the entirety of South Africa. They are also going to be responsible for the finalization of the logos and the look and feel of those organizations. And they're going to lead the programs and activities of the MK Youth and Women's League. We have therefore resolved as the national officials of Umkhonto Wesizwe to appoint Commander Nontando Shozi Malanga, who is the current member of the National High Command, to be the national convener of Umkhonto Wesizwe Women's League. Commander Shozi carries the necessary composure, discipline, and dedication to guide the full formation of Umkhonto Wesizwe Women's League. She's a dedicated professional and activist who will represent the organization with excellence. The national officials have also resolved to appoint Commander Lindiwe Irene Makubu Mchali as the national coordinator of Umkhonto Wesizwe Women's League. Commander Lindiwe Mchali was born in exile in Lusaka in Zambia to a father, Eric Stalin Mchali, who was part of the founding members of Umkhonto Wesizwe the Liberation Army. Commander Lindiwe Mchali has been an activist in students and youth movements, and her experience in different leadership responsibilities will guide the necessary value and stability to the MK Women's League. The official launch of MK Women's League will be on the 9th of August, which is Women's Day 2025. We expect that by the launch date of Umkhonto Wesizwe Women's League, all the VDs, the wards, sub-regions, regions, and provinces will be led by capable women's detachments and women's structures of the MK Women's League. And consistent with the constitution of Umkhonto Wesizwe, the national officials have also appointed Qiniso Cibane, the current convener of MK Youth League in the eThekwini region, to be the national convener of the MK Youth League. The national officials have also appointed Nkateko Mkabela, the current spokesperson of the MK Youth League, to be the MK National Coordinator with immediate effect. They are both below the age of 30 years because the constitution of Umkhonto Wesizwe says you cease or you stop to be a member of the MK Youth League once you turn 31 years old. That is what our constitution says. The official launch of Umkhonto Wesizwe Youth League will take place on the 16th of June 2025. We expect that by the launch date, which is 16 June, Youth Day 2025, we expect that by then, the Youth League of Umkhonto Wesizwe must be existing in all the voting districts, in all the wards, in all sub-regions, in regions and provinces, and led by youth detachments with the capabilities that they can demonstrate. And then the national officials have also resolved and mandated the Secretariat to convene all students, activists who associate with MK, to convene them and identify from amongst the students activists a national task team which is going to establish the MK students movement. The task team will be strictly composed of full-time students whose primary focus is on students. The MK students movement must be launched and will be launched in all universities, universities of technology, and TVET colleges. In relation to provinces, the national officials have resolved to appoint the top 8 of the provincial detachments of the provinces of Limpopo, of Gauteng province, and of KwaZulu-Natal. In the case of KwaZulu-Natal, we have also resolved to appoint regional detachment structures for all the 11 regions of KwaZulu-Natal. Today, we are announcing the leadership of Gauteng and Limpopo. And tomorrow, which is Friday, we are going to publicly announce the leadership of KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Detachment and all the regions. We will, over the next few weeks, consult with structures on the ground to appoint the leadership of the Northwest Province, of the Free State, Eastern Cape, and Western Cape. Our National High Command resolution on the Northern Cape is that the National High Command deployees must preside over the province up until such a time where we will be able to appoint a detachment, but it's not an urgent appointment that we are going to make. Now, in relation to Limpopo province, the appointments which we have made, I'm going to read them, and at the end I'm going to call the people that we have appointed one by one to come to the stage so that we can know all of them. The convener of Limpopo province is Charmaine Pichunia Nel. The deputy convener is Hosi Litseri Pasha. The coordinator is Miss Chilizi Maraga. Deputy coordinator is Duke Mwepe. Provincial organizer is Daphne Sibambo. Deputy organizer is Ponani Makubele. Fundraiser is Maxwell Mkachani Chauke. Deputy fundraiser is Jabu Bilankulu. And the National High Command also resolved to appoint 3 additional members thus far for the province of Limpopo, which is Commanders John Gobeni, Commander Alec Nkuna, and Commander Leonard Mareman. In Gauteng province, after in-depth discussions, the following leadership has been identified and appointed for the province of Gauteng. The convener of Gauteng province is Witness Nyembe. The deputy convener is Moses Pumpgun Makaza. The coordinator is Mzukisi Honyuza. The deputy coordinator is Gavin Kungwayo. Provincial organizer is Musa Nobela. Provincial deputy organizer is Tiny Mukwena. Fundraiser is Commander Trevor Konela. Deputy fundraiser is Lifadi Makibanyana. And the national officials have also adopted the guidelines on the following important aspects. There is a guideline on the roles and functions of provincial detachments and the roles of individuals within the provincial detachments, which will be availed for all members of the provincial detachments to know and understand and internalize. We also have adopted a guideline on the selection of councillor candidates for by-elections. We believe that these measures will go a long way in strengthening our organization. We call for maximum discipline in all structures of Umkhonto Wesizwe. No one is permitted to constitute a parallel structure or process other than what is mandated by the organization. We will decisively act against all elements that seek to defy the decisions of upper structures. The appointment of the provincial detachments means that any structure that existed in that particular province before no longer exists. Whether you are a provincial interim corps or a provincial task team or a presidential task team. The only leadership structure that exists in each and every province that we have announced now is the provincial detachment. That is the structure that is going to provide leadership. And in relation to the MK Women's League leadership, now that we have established the MK Women's League leadership and the Youth League, any other structure that existed before ceases to exist with immediate effect. All the issues of women organization is going to be under the leadership of the national coordinator and national convener of the Women's League and the national convener and coordinator of the Youth League in relation to youth affairs. So there is not going to be any parallel structure that is going to exist parallel to the structures that we are establishing as the national officials. The national officials also received a detailed report on governance in terms of the work done by our members of the provincial legislatures and members of parliament. We have directed our public representatives to pay particular attention to the dissolution of Itala Bank by the South African Reserve Bank's Prudential Authority. We believe that there is evidence enough now that the system of the central bank does not want to see the existence of black-owned banks here in South Africa. And we as Umkhonto Wesizwe are going to do everything in our power to defend the existence of Itala Bank. We as an organization are gaining proper organizational shape and form. And what is needed now is to consolidate and to lead all progressive forces in South Africa. We are not yet where we are supposed to be, but with maximum focus, we will get there. The whole organization must be guided by the principles and values of our movement, which the Constitution says is Ubuntu Ubuntu, unity in action, Pan-Africanism, patriotism and equality, honesty and respect, democratic centralism, mandates, accountability and reporting, organic forms of public representation, discipline and hard work, knowledgeability and meritocracy, class consciousness. If we all understand, internalize and adhere to these principles and values, we will not just win the battles, but we are going to win the war for total decolonization. Africa Maibuya. Thank you very much.